Welcome to Common Doubt Season 2 Episode 7. I am your host Zian Anzam with Anzam Explains. I think today's episode is going to be a bit long. Today we are going to talk about hangover. What happens inside our body when we are having our dreaded hangover. We tend to drink because in low doses alcohol is initially a euphoriant. It makes you feel happier. It does this by causing the body to release dopamine and endorphins, which are the chemicals that stimulate the brain's reward system. But after a while, as you drink more, it ultimately suppresses some brain activity and slows down your heart and breathing. Note that even before you arrive at a typical drink drive limit, you might experience excitement, uncoordination, impairment, speech slurring, swaying, and loss of inhibition. Small amounts of alcohol affect the limbic system in the brain, which result in aggression. Alcohol is also vasodilator, which means it widens blood vessels, diverting blood from the body's core to its extremities. This results in the characteristic flushed cheek you can get from consuming alcohol. Alcohol is absorbed quicker than most things, since some is absorbed in the stomach rather than small intestine. It then spreads throughout the body and is distributed to all organs including the brain and the liver, where the body makes a valiant attempt to break down and dispose of the alcohol. To do this, the liver produces enzymes, small molecules that help either make or break down important molecules. In this case, the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase breaks down the alcohol, which is ethanol, into acetaldehyde, which is ethanol, which is then further break down into acetic or ethanoic acid and then to carbon dioxide. Energy is also released at all stages of the breakdown, which explains why heavy drinkers can sometimes be overweight. So why do we vomit? The first stage breakdown product or ethanol is an emetic, which means it makes you want to vomit. As you drink and become more euphoric, your blood ethanol level is being monitored by the area postrema, the part of your brain which checks your blood for things that shouldn't be there. If you eat some food which causes vomiting and diarrhea, it's your postrema that has instructed your body to get rid of the offending comestibles. Unfortunately, there is no drug to treat hangover. Once you are intoxicated, you just have to wait it out. Aside from the vomiting, we don't know exactly why we feel so terrible when we are hungover. But it is thought to be another effect of ethanol and congeners. Congeners are the non-alcoholic chemical clutter that is a byproduct of fermentation. Darker drinks have higher amounts of congeners. Red wine also causes a particularly vicious hangover, since it contains a vasoconstrictor, which is constrict your blood vessels and causes that throbbing headache. Meanwhile, vodka might be more forgiving, since pure vodka is just alcohol and water. The only other thing that might help reduce your hangover after a heavy drinking session is a glass of water before bed, because alcohol stops your pituitary gland producing the anti-diuretic hormone vasopressin, which normally restricts urine production. This means you end up losing more water than you take in, causing dehydration that irritates the blood vessels, leading to headaches. Now it's time for the bonus fact. Did you know liver can metabolize between 8 grams and 12 grams of alcohol in an hour? If you really like listening to my podcast, you can support me by buying me a coffee through the link in my description. Thank you for listening. Until next time, goodbye.